Well, the Detroit Lions welcomed the Dallas Cowboys and dared them to match their energy in Week 14. But for 4 quarters, it felt like the punches from Detroit just kept coming, and Dallas had no room to breathe. 44-30, the final out in Ford Field. The Dallas Cowboys falling to 6-1 in the season. But we're rewinding through it all here on Cowboys Rewind. I'm your host, Nicole Hutchison, and this Cowboys offense, they flashed some rhythm at moments, but missed opportunities, turnovers, and a quiet night for most of their playmakers, their much-needed playmakers in Week 14. Let this offense searching for answers. And how about this defensive side of the ball? They made stops, just not enough. And this Detroit team made the moments that ultimately defined Week 15, Week 14.
We out here in Detroit. Shout out all the rappers from Detroit. These, Babyface Ray, Cash Doll. Y'all pull up and come watch the movie.
Take care of the football, protect the quarterback, and play your ass off. Man, I love this. Man, I love this.
Get dangerous.
Thursday night. Only game on, man. Gotta show up. Sonny talked about today, violence and passion. One thing before that, focus. Let's go, get your minds right. Physical up, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Snap to Goff, back and looking, late pressure, he flushes out, rolls right, sack.
You got more in you. What you mean to win? Didn't I say you gonna get one? Wait, I see you.
Now here's 3rd and 5, Dallas at its own 10. Late pressure, oh, he's gonna be sacked in the end zone. Back to throw, over the middle, caught wide open, the 25-yard line, St. Brown to the 15, St. Brown inside the 10 to the 8.
Let's go. Let's get moving right now. Let's get moving right now. Be the best version of ourselves. Get this standard rolling.
And a handoff, Gibbs dancing up the middle and pounds in. 4-man rush, and they're going to get to him, and he breaks away, and he looks, and he throws it out to Ferguson at the 50, and then and the ball's out.
Let's go. We got to be better. Where's the fight? Where's the dogs? Get it there.
Back to throw, good protection. Deep down the right side, Fenoy all alone.
Yes, sir. Oh!
15-10. Walk your puppy dog.
Boy, ball is high as hell. First down, keep balling up there, right? Yeah. Right, now we got a ball game. That's what happened when you try to double me. Hey. All my other compadres get open.
Hey, great job, guys. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, here we go. Hell yeah.
First down, handoff, Gibbs, they got the edge on the outside. Great block from the outside.
Just fight. Just do right more. Just fight. Just keep fighting and do right.
Snap is back. Time, looking over the middle into traffic. Pickens. Oh, it's picked off. And the Lions now can take a knee, and now this one's going to be over.
The Cowboys have a chance to bounce back in Week 15 against the Vikings, and there's quite a few matchups that will decide that matchup. It's Cowboys, Vikings, like I mentioned. Putting 42nd on the clock, though. Breaking it all down up next.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Cowboys Rewind. Nicole Hutchison alongside Voch Lombardi. We got Patrick No-C Walker. And y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is? Well, it's a new week. Week 15, that means new chaos, of course. The Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. That's 2 teams now fighting for NFC playoff picture, because you know this is a matchup that could flip the NFC playoff picture, right? So 40-second matchup, ma'am. We're going to break down some matchups in a fun way, but you got 40 seconds on the shot clock. We're starting with you, Voch. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron Jones, Dallas defense, who you got?
Well, this is how I feel, okay? I don't want to fear anybody until the Cowboys defense gives me a reason to fear them. I give everybody this neutral slate, so when they walk up in here, I go, all right, well, let's see what happens when the game starts. But boy, you start thinking back on these playoff games. Anytime Aaron Jones has run into the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium, We at home this week. Every time it happens, it always ends up terrible for us. Now, I want to give my defense a bit of a shot here, okay? We looked horrible last week, man. That Lions offense is a top-tier offense. I don't think the same of this Vikings offense. So what we need the Cowboys offense to put points up on the board quickly and make those dudes play catch-up and keep them from running. Because if Aaron Jones gets 30 carries, curtains.
Hey, man, you beat the shot clock. I'm so proud of you. Look at you. Look at you. Hey, you talk about Aaron Jones, who, of course, 83 attempts, 488 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns.
What's your opinion on Aaron Jones?
Who you got, Pat?
Ooh, you petty. I'm going with Quinnen Williams on this one, man, because the thing is Vach hit it right on the head. I mean, Aaron Jones has absolutely owned the Dallas Cowboys every time he's come to AT&T Stadium. Hell, I think the A in AT&T stands for Aaron, to be honest with you. But the difference being is that Quinnen Williams guy, and I'll also say Kenny Clark, those two guys in the middle, those two hogs in the middle, they were not there when the Cowboys defense was trying to stop Aaron Jones as a Green Bay Packer on those several occurrences. So for me, I'm looking at it as, number one, J.J. McCarthy, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. That's not subjective. That is objectively speaking. So they're going to have to rush the ball 25, 30 times, but they're running into a wall. Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark.
And your time is up. Y'all ready for the second one?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott versus this Brian Flores. Fresher looks.
Okay.
I'm going with you, Patrick.
Hey, that's fine. We all look alike. At the end of the day, Dak Prescott excels versus several different types of defensive looks, but one being the blitz. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can't correct me because I ain't wrong. Brian Flores, his Vikings defense, it blitzes almost 50% of the time. That leads the league. He's going to send +1, sometimes +2. Might be a linebacker, might be a safety blitz, might be a nickel corner. Just know there's always that +1 coming. Dak Prescott, what does that do for him? It takes someone out of coverage, and that's going to help him when it comes to George Pickens maybe having a bounce back game with those slants, CeeDee Lamb, and that'll also allow them to get yards after the carry. So blitz Dak Prescott at your own peril, Brian Flores. It might come back to bite you.
All right, Vach, who you got?
Hey, if you want to blitz us and give us one-on-one looks on the outside with CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferg, do your thing, knock yourself out. There's a couple things at play here that I think really lean towards the Cowboys winning this exchange here. We have Javonte Williams, one of the best blitz pickup running backs in the entire league. I feel really good about that one. Also, we know how Dak Prescott gets down, but the one key that I love to pieces, it's a home game. If we're to pieces, if we're in Minnesota and it's loud and all I got is a Tyler Booker hand wave and a knee, boy, it probably would be bad for us communicating and talking, but it's quiet. Dak get to call your name. Hey, look for him, look for 50, chill out. That dude don't count, and let him orchestrate. And man, we'll be fine versus Brian Flores.
Hey, y'all want to know the numbers specifically with Dak Prescott versus pressure?
Give me the por favor.
How about he's thrown for the second most yards in the NFL, completing passes at the second highest rate against the blitz. And the Vikings, of course, have blitzed at the highest rate in the NFL.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good.
Seems good.
I think that's pretty good.
Fan-daggum-tastic.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot of matchups to keep our eyes on this week. Of course, George Pickens as well against this Vikings secondary. But he had a downfall against the Detroit Lions. It's brought up some conversations. That's up next here on Cap.
Brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back in to Cowboys Rewind. Nicole Hutchison, Vox Lombardi, Patrick Nosey Walker. Y'all know the drill. It's Cap, no cap. Hello. Well, the applause has been very loud for George Pickens, of course, as expected. Leader, top in receiving yards, also in top in yak yardage, first down conversions. You talk about it, pretty much everything, right? But after that decrease in production, so to speak, it's brought the conversations up, but not in a positive way. Let's hear from the boys on the fan and see what they had to say.
No, I think that Dallas is still in it. They've got their own issue over there playing wide receiver for them. So, they need to address that. There's no way, by the way, just on a tangent, there is no way that I would pay George Pickens. I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth. There is no way I would invest a dime into that guy going on beyond this season.
So why is that, Stink? Since he's been here in Dallas, everything we've heard is he's really been a good teammate and a good locker room guy for the most part.
Great. I saw him film his own slow motion movie on Thursday night. When he's not the target, when he's not involved, he's not interested. You can have that. You can't. You got to know the right guys, and sometimes you got to let go of really good guys because they're not the right guys. And I wouldn't invest 2 cents in that guy.
All right, we're getting straight to it. Pat, are you calling Cap or no Cap?
Man, this is capalicious.
No home training.
Yeah, seriously, man, be for real. Like, seriously, what are we talking about here? This is George Pickens, who's come in. Remember when CeeDee Lamb went down with the high ankle sprain? Who was it that was cooking up real nice? It was George Pickens saving the day, 100-yard games, taking over games. He had a bad day at the office against Detroit. It happens. It happens. It happens. Bottom line, you're talking about you need the right kind of guys. That sounds real Jason Garrett-ish to me. How many rings did Jason Garrett's teams bring to this organization? Absolutely zero. What you need are dogs who are also completely bought in. You have that in George Pickens, and he's in his early 20s. He has his entire NFL career in front of him. If you don't re-sign George Pickens, just know that you're ordering all the trouble that comes after that, which is loss, 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 loss.
Okay.
Pat, Nicole.
What up?
Man, Mark Schlereth told on himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Mark ain't watching no film, man. Mark made it seem like he's been watching George Pickens and maybe GP this one game came out with this lackadaisical style. Man, that's how GP been flaming people all year. He has this smoothness to him. He's setting you up. He's changing tempos. Yo, I just expected somebody that's on the fan every single week. I guess he's getting paid to do it. I would just expect somebody to know that, but I guess you just can't win them all. But listen, let me just tell you this one thing, man. Let me just tell you this one thing. You know, if you're going to wait all the way to week 15 to talk about somebody's downtime, I don't think you're doing bad. We've gotten all the way to this point, and then you're going to have this conversation. But this is the biggest part about it, right? He's kind of making this talk around GP doing his job. Let me tell you what his job was versus the Lions, okay? If GP's over there and the Lions decide that GP's not going to get off, CeeDee Lamb gets 100 yards in one half.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. Even Richard Sherman up there bumping his gums talking about, well, but Vaj, what's going to happen when CeeDee Lamb goes away? Well, Ryan Flanoy steps up, and he gets 100 yards in another half because GP is doing his job. Chill out, player.
Hey, that's the thing. Watch the film, and you'll see that George Pickens was doubled almost every single play. But who does that open up? Of course, like you mentioned, Ryan Flanoy had a career day, 9 catches, 115 receiving yards. Voch, let me ask you this. What does a bounce-back game for George Pickens look like?
George Pickens ain't got to do nothing different than what he been doing all daggum year and just whooping folk. Let him whoop feet, man. I don't have to hyper-analyze GP. GP, go out there and do great. Do what you've been doing all year, player. Knock yourself out.
Bottom line is George Pickens been cooking all year. The Detroit Lions, once CeeDee Lamb went out, they figured out a way to unplug the stove in that one particular game. That's fine. Plug it back in. It'll happen against the Minnesota Vikings.
You talk about a George Pickens who has been cooking all season long. Well, Ryan Flanoy has been cooking in his opportunities, right? I go one-on-one with him up next here on Cowboys Rewind. Welcome back into Cowboys Rewind. I'm your host, Nicole Hutchison, and some stories are about the spotlight. Well, some stories are about the climb, and that's for Ryan Flanoy. That's the case. You talk about a kid who was once the smallest kid on the football field, told by his high school head coach that he would never amount to anything. Then he bounced from JUCO to JUCO before earning his first D1 offer and finally getting an opportunity there. Then he became the 6th-round pick in 2024 for the Dallas Cowboys. All for a year later to be making the 53-man roster, be waived just one day later. Well, he's still rising and still somehow still here. August 27th, you were assigned to the 53-man roster. August 28th, you were waived by the team. Walk me through that 24-hour period for you.
Man, it's crazy. I remember like it was yesterday. It was hard. I remember me and my wife was actually going to celebrate. We was about to go out to eat, celebrate, and then on the way there, I got a call from the Star and went to Shotty's office, and we had a good conversation. I didn't take it personal. It wasn't nothing personal. With the NFL, it's a business. But he told me he wanted me back, and he kept his word. And I remember in that time, I didn't blink because my faith is in God. 2 weeks later, you were signed back to the active roster. You came a long way from small town, in Illinois, where your high school coach basically told you weren't going to be nothing and make it here. And then you go throughout, your college career, you battle injuries, multiple stops.
6th-round pick in 2024 to the Dallas Cowboys. What part of your journey prepared you for this stretch of opportunity?
One time, a professional athlete came to one of my Little League practices, and he was saying, at least one of y'all, if that, will make it, even though we had athletes that were way better than me at that time. And at that moment, like, we had big names and stuff like that, and I'm probably 11 years old. He said, well, at least one of y'all, and I knew he was talking to me, and that's what really sparked it for me.
Prescott, end zone, Flanoy, touchdown!
Every time you've been put in a situation where you've had to step up in place of CeeDee Lamb when he's out injured, when they're doubling George Pickens, you've answered the call. So talk about that confidence, where it comes from.
Yeah, I live by saying light work. You know, light work is just doing the Lord's favor and just shining his light, and everything else would be easy. So me being grateful, honestly, like when any situation come, I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord, and I just go out there and play free. That's where my confidence comes from.
Prescott throwing wide open, and into the end zone is Flanoy.
I know obviously you're a patient guy, but you're also a competitor. So you had a goal in mind, of course, in your role. How close is this role for you that you're playing now to what you've envisioned at training camp?
I never grew up going to church, and I always believed in the God, but I didn't know who he was, essentially. And then eventually, gradually, I gave my whole life to Christ and just started living right. That's why I've been so grateful. And I always knew I wanted to go to the league, and I looked up to, you know, the Jerry Rices, the Randy Mosses, and just how great they were. I want to get there, and like me and Dak had countless conversations of us just talking about the Hall of Fame and wanting to get there and why we want to get there. And so for me to, you know, get cut, I knew, okay, and for me to get to Hall of Fame, I have to work harder to establish myself.
You talking about Jerry Rice, 36 NFL record-setting Jerry Rice, Hall of Famer Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
How do you get there? You talk about the hard work, but what does that look like for you?
Whenever I don't want to do something, I try to do it. You know, when I feel like I'm being lazy and like I don't want to go work out right now, I feel like that's the perfect time to go do it, because you feel good. You get a chance to, you know, separate yourself from other people.
And you talk about the things that some people don't want to do, they do it. Well, that's kind of like along the lines of not every wide receiver wants to block or help in the blocking game. You do. But when you look at the film in terms of the ball with your hands, you like physical contact. Where does that love for contact come from?
I think it's the love of the game for me. Like, I just love football. I've been playing it since I was 5 years old. Like, I think I told you a story of my dad being a Pee Wee coach, and I'm 3 years old out there running around and asking him to play. And he's telling me I gotta wait till I'm of age. And I remember when I got of age, woke him up and was like, it's time to sign me up. And I've been, man, having a helmet on ever since.
If this season was a chapter in your story, what would you call it?
Oh, the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning, because I feel like I'm just getting started.
You just heard him. He's just getting started, but you talk about the beginning of this season when he was waived. Ryan Flanoy told me that even though Shotty, you know, let him know that he was bringing him back to the team a few weeks or a couple days later, he said, hey, I still can't go to practice, but I'm still going to go and find a field, maybe far away, maybe near me, to go put in that extra work to make sure I'm ready for when my time comes and I'm brought back to the team. Heard some great things from Dak Prescott as well. He's relished his opportunity. He's there for every throwing session, no matter if it's his anniversary with his wife or his honeymoon. So that's the type of player you're getting in a Ryan Flanoy. Had a career day against the Detroit Lions, hoping to have another career day against the Minnesota Vikings. But we're wrapping things up here on Cowboys Rewind. Up next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com.
Welcome back into Cowboys Rewind. Nicole Hutchison here to wrap up the show. But first, we've got some things to say. It's my mic drop, of course. The Cowboys taking on a Minnesota Vikings team that also has a lot to lose when you talk about the Sunday Night Football matchup. The Cowboys with a 6% chance to make the playoffs, sitting at 6-1. Well, the Minnesota Vikings 5-8, but they don't look like a 5-8 team coming off their best performance, absolutely shutting out the Washington Commanders 31-0 the final in Week 14. But this Cowboys team, you hear from Dak Prescott, it's all about them. They can't rely on the downfall of the Philadelphia Eagles. Every game matters, and it starts in Sunday Night Football. And the formula is absolutely simple. You got to run the football with Javonte Williams, stop the run and contain Aaron Jones, and protect Dak Prescott at all costs, because Brian Flores in that defensive front creates chaos and loves to do it. It's Week 15, Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings. It's a primetime matchup to see if the Dallas Cowboys can respond.